These are so pretty. I love that. I do. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually going to be my very first brand collection overview that I've filmed in a very long time. I feel like I really don't do these videos anymore simply because whenever products launch on the market, I'm more so interested in just implementing a couple products here and there, just so that way you have a wide range of products to learn about and hear about within my videos. But today I'm going to be talking all about the brand new line that Selena Gomez just launched called Rare Beauty. This is a vegan and cruelty-free brand that is available exclusively at Sephora, which is really, really dope. They did send over a bunch of products in PR. I'm talking a very generous package. So huge thanks to the Rare Beauty team. I am very grateful and I am very fortunate, but you guys already know how it works on my channel. I'm going to be giving you guys my brutally honest opinion on these products. So if I like something, you're gonna know about it. If I don't like something, you're gonna know about it. It actually means more to me that I'm brutally honest with you guys within my video because you guys are spending your money on it and we all work hard for our money, and I would hate to actually recommend products that aren't really worth it. Again, these are my first initial thoughts. This will be a full face of first impressions, but I will definitely update you guys towards the very end of the video to let you guys know what I'm feeling after wearing these products on my face for a period of time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. If you do love it, of course, don't forget to stop what you're doing. Give this video a big old like. Also subscribe to my channel. It is completely free. While you're at it, turn on those post notifications because I'm not gonna lie, my upload schedule has been a little wonky recently. So if you want to stay up to date as to when I'm posting, the bell is gonna be your best friend. So let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like I rambled long enough. I'm really, really eager to get into these products, so let's go. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and zoomed you in just so that way you can see my skin, my pores, my blemishes, and my little hairy ass brows. But besides that, I did already moisturize my skin off camera. I'm now gonna hop into face primer. They do have a face primer within this line. Let's first and foremost talk about the packaging. This definitely reminds me of Fenty Beauty packaging just a little bit. It is not a glass container. It is a plastic container, but it does have that frosted glass on it. This here is their primer. This is the Always On Optimus Illuminating Primer. It does retail for $26. I'm gonna pump a little bit of this out. Okay, so the formula is not runny. It's also not too thick. I feel like it falls right in the middle. Oh wow, that is pretty. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm only gonna prime the skin with this illuminating primer in areas where I want to be illuminated, simply because I feel like when I put primers like this all over, it really just accentuates areas of my face that I don't want to be accentuated. Plus, it's pretty hot and humid here in Florida, so I don't wanna look overly oily throughout the day. They also have a brush within the collection. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more of that primer on the brush. I do wanna give you guys a little bit of details on this brush. This here is the Liquid Touch Foundation Brush. It retails for $28, and I'm gonna use this to really just brush on the product. I feel like I learned this during the Patrick Ta Makeup Masterclass, and I really, really loved it. So I'm really just going to focus this primer here, just because it is illuminating. Quickly, I just want to touch on how glowy and luminous my skin looks. The primer definitely has like a pearlescent feel to it. So it looks nice. Is it accentuating a lot of texture? No, not really. Because this isn't like a pore filling or smoothing primer, I am gonna take the extra step today and go in with the Primed and Poreless Pore Banishing and Blurring Face Primer by Too Faced, because you guys know sometimes when I don't go in with a blurring primer, especially in this area, it can look a little wonky when I put on foundation, and I want my foundation to look as good as possible. So I'm going to just really focus this right here in this area. I'm not going to take it on the areas where I put the illuminating primer by Rare Beauty. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the setting spray within the line. This here is called Always an Optimus 4-in-1 Mist, which is going to hydrate, prime, set, and refresh. I'm going to give it a shake because since I didn't put primer all over, I want to really prime the skin. Oh wow, that feels very, very refreshing on my skin. So I'm going to wait for that to set a little bit. And while I do that, I am going to use their sponge. Now this is a very different sponge. As you can see, it is very, very porous. I do have my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge because I'm a really, really big fan of this sponge. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of this sponge because it is porous, but this one is porous as well. So I'm very, very interested in seeing how this works on my skin. I'm just going to lightly tap in that face mist just to ensure it is nice and dry down. By the way, I did already wet this sponge, so it is pretty big in my hand. Like for comparison, it's a pretty decent size once you get it wet underwater. It's not sopping wet, it is just damp. All right, you guys, I definitely feel like we are in a really, really good place. My skin is looking good, it's feeling good, it is hydrated, it is glowy, dewy, and it is prime. So now let's move on to foundation. The foundation that she came out with is called the Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. It does retail for only $29, which is a very, very good price point if you ask me for a foundation within Sephora. I feel like other foundations retail for much, much higher, like in the $40 range. I really, really appreciate the lower price point on this product here. Now it does claim to be a foundation elixir that feels barely there while building coverage and boosting your natural glow. The shade range of this is 48 shades, which is great. I feel like after Fenty, not many brands can skimp out on their shade range, so they definitely had to live up to that if they were going to live in Sephora. So I do want to pop on this shade right here. I only have one shade to swatch simply because when I did get my PR package, all of the shades were way too dark for me. So I went to Sephora and I actually picked this up. This is shade 190W. Within this foundation comes a little applicator. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of these applicators simply because I do have very acne prone skin. So sometimes I feel like if I swipe this over top of my acne, I'm kind of cross-contaminating the product. But honestly, that can kind of go for anything. But that's just me. That's my pet peeve. And it's a personal preference kind of thing. So I'm going to take the foundation on the back of my hand. It's honestly not runny, but it's also not thick. I feel like it falls right in the middle. I actually think that this is going to be a perfect shade match for me personally. I do want to use the foundation brush to actually apply this. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the foundation and then I'm just gonna start working it onto the skin. It does claim to be a very buildable foundation, so we'll see just how well it builds. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering if this is going to oxidize at all because I'm not gonna lie, it's looking a little light on my skin right now, but if it's a little too light, I'll mix in a little bit more of a deeper foundation. So far, I think the coverage on this is beautiful. As you guys know, I do struggle with acne and things like that. And what I love about the message her brand brings is that these products aren't meant to hide who you are. They're really meant to enhance who you are and really just bring through your natural beauty, which is why I feel like this foundation isn't like full on coverage because it's not meant to make you like a different person or anything like that. I feel like Selena always has really, really natural, beautiful makeup. So I feel like I can definitely see how hard she worked on this brand. So this is what the foundation looks like on my skin. I feel like I see some kind of separation like in this area right here, but I'm not entirely sure if it's as a result of how dry my skin is in this area. I've been using a lot of like acne treatment, which has been drying out this area. And then I also have a little bit of hairspray right here, which is why it looks wonky up in this area. But for the most part, I think it looks really, really pretty. Is it a little light compared to my neck? Yes, but I can definitely warm that up with a little bit more of a deeper foundation, which I'll get to in a second. Now to really bring some dimension back into my skin, I am gonna use a deeper foundation. This one is in the shade 300C. I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand, and with that same foundation brush, I'm just gonna start working this in to the perimeter of my face. I do feel like the shade I was shade matched to in Sephora is just slightly too light. So adding a little bit of this around the perimeter of my face is just going to create such a beautiful effect. I'm also gonna take some of this foundation shade on the sides of my nose to just add some natural definition, and on my eyelids as well, because there aren't any eyeshadows within this collection so far. 1 to 10, I'm pretty obsessed. I really am. I think my base makeup looks incredible. I really wish my concealer was a little bit more of a lighter shade just so that way I could use it to highlight. The lightest shade of concealer that was sent to me was this one right here. This is 300C. This is actually called the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. It does retail for $19 and it's meant to be a moisturizing, buildable concealer that melts seamlessly into the skin for undetectable cake-free coverage. This here is also available in 48 shades. So this is what the applicator looks like. Oh, kind of cool, right? Comes to a nice slant. Just gonna take this right here. Again, it's a little dark. I'm definitely going to be picking up my correct shade in this concealer, so don't fret. I am gonna wait for it to get a little tacky, so maybe about 45 seconds, and then I'm going to blend it out with their concealer brush. This here is the Liquid Touch Concealer Brush. It does retail for $16, and honestly, it just looks like a smaller version of the foundation brush, but really cute. I'm going to just take the brush and then just lightly tap it out. Now this is meant to be a buildable concealer, not too full on coverage. I don't think any of her complexion products are really meant to be full on coverage, which is not bad because, I mean, I feel like full coverage looks are just so overrated at this point. So far, base makeup looks incredible. Only thing for me is that this collection doesn't offer a powder or anything like that. And for me personally, whenever I'm going in with creams, liquids, anything like that, I always have to complement it with a little bit of powder, especially because I live in Florida and anything I put on my face, if I don't set it down, it's just a hot, sweaty mess. So I am gonna go the extra mile and set underneath my eyes with my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm gonna use the sponge. I'm actually gonna use the tip of the sponge, the triangle part, below, and then I'm just going to tap this underneath my eyes to set. I actually don't want to use that sponge because since it does have like triangle edges, I do want something with a little bit more of like a rounded shape to it, especially underneath my eye. So I don't think that this is perfect for the under eye area, but that's just me personally. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge and I'm just going to tap this right here for a very seamless blend. Does that ever happen to you guys? Like that line of demarcation? I think it was because I put way too much product with the other sponge and I wasn't able to really buff and blend it out because this side isn't doing that at all. So my bad. Hopefully I can fix it. Another thing I'm noticing is that I did take this product onto my eyelids and they are creasing like a chicken. So I'm gonna take that concealer brush and I'm just going to tap it out and then take a little bit of my loose powder and then just kind of set it in place. Let's move on to the next category, which is a category I'm super excited about, the blushes. Now they did launch 8 different blushes. These here are the Soft Pinch liquid blushes. They sent me 4 of the 8. They do come in 2 different finishes. The orange shades that I swatched on my arm are matte finishes and the pink ones are dewy finishes. I'm gonna use the shade Joy. I feel like Joy is so beautiful. I'm gonna take a little bit of this on the back of my hand and I'm talking about 1 dot. I did actually watch a video of her makeup artist doing makeup application on a model and he said a little bit of this stuff goes a very long way. So I have some on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take the sponge and dip the sponge into the blush. I'm gonna actually saturate the bottom of this really well and then I'm going to just pop it onto my cheeks. That is so pretty. I'm gonna actually focus a lot more up here because you guys know that's just been a vibe for me recently. These are so pretty. I love that. I do. Wow. I don't think I've been this obsessed with like a liquid blush product in a long time, you guys. Like this is so pretty. I love that it's matte, so it's not like super shiny or anything like that on my cheeks. I don't know. I feel like my skin just gives off a very like soft matte finish. Like it's not dewy or anything like that. It just looks very fresh. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I'm really into it though. I'm now gonna move on to the liquid luminizers. She did launch the Positive Light liquid luminizers. I do have 4 shades here and they retail for $22. She also launched these in 8 different shades. I threw swatches up on the screen so you can see what they look like on my skin complexion. I'm going to mix 2 different shades here. I have the shade called Outshine, which is that really pretty kind of like pale yellow gold. And then I also have the shade called Mesmerize, which is a really pretty kind of like pinky champagne. I'm gonna do somewhat of a cocktail, and I feel like a little bit of this stuff is gonna go a very, very long way. I feel like her products are very much pigmented, and while she didn't come out with really any eye products, I'm really eager to see what she comes out with, because so far so good. Like I literally have no complaints. I'm gonna use that same foundation brush to pick up some of the illuminator that I mixed on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna press it right here. Just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Like I want a really natural glow, but I don't want to look like a glazed donut. I feel like I'm just kind of over that stage in my life. I'm gonna tap a little bit on my nose as well, but all in all, that is really pretty. Now for majority of today's video, I've been looking hella crazy because I do not have brows on. She did come out with some brow products, so I do have one of them. This is called the Brow Harmony Pencil and Gel. So on one end, you do have a brow pencil. It is that triangular brow pencil that's retractable. On the other end of this, you do have a brow gel, and the brow gel is tinted. Selena always has the best brows. Back when I was growing out my brows, I wanted my brows to look just like hers, very full, undone, boy brow look. Not too structured, so that's kind of what I'm going for. I am going to take a clean spoolie brush though, and I'm just going to brush through my brows. I feel like my brows are pretty full now. It's so crazy to think back to what they used to look like. Like I didn't even have a brow tail. The power of not using tweezers, you guys. Just put them down. You don't need them. The shade I have in this brow pencil is called Cool Brown, which I appreciate because I cannot stand a warm tone eyebrow. I really can't. This does retail for $22, which I think is pretty expensive for a brow pencil, but we'll see if it lives up to the price. I'm just going to take a little bit of this and just choo 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 choo. I'm like scared. I low-key wish there was a spoolie on the other end, but there's not, so you kind of have to reach for your own. Now that I have a little bit of that in there, oh, okay. Very much pigmented, like very pigmented. Now I'm gonna go in with the opposite side, which is the brow gel. Again, it is tinted, and I'm just gonna coat a little bit of this through my brows. I'm not gonna start super close to the front because I don't want my brows to be too dark. I feel like this is a product you can also use on its own. So if you have very full brows like myself, I probably wouldn't go in with the brow pencil and the brow gel, just because I feel like the brow gel adds additional like tint to it, so they can appear a little too dark. But next time I'll probably opt for just using the brow gel as opposed to the actual crayon. Like both of them together, I feel like they're a little much, but still really pretty, like very bushed boy brow, very Selena. Another product she came out with is an eyeliner. Now this is called the Perfect Strokes Matte Liquid Eyeliner, and it's just in black. It is not a felt tip, it's more of a brush tip, as you can see. I am gonna swatch it. I feel like the more pressure you put, the darker it is. If you put very light pressure, it won't really show up all that well, but again, use very hard pressure and you should be good to go. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I'm just gonna do a very thin line. I'm not gonna wing it out whatsoever, just because I really want to keep this look very natural. So here we go. I feel like this looks a little strange. Should I do a baby wing or should I just keep it like this? The real question here is, what would Selena do? You know what, I'm not gonna wing it out. I'm just gonna pop on some false lashes. I'm gonna use these right here, these individual lashes by House of Lashes. I did mention these in a favorites video. I'm gonna go in between the doubles and also the triples, and I'm gonna create my own custom lash look. So I'm gonna do that off camera, then I'll come back and then we'll just finish off with the lips. So I went ahead and popped on lashes. These are just the individual lashes that I am so obsessed with. I always feel like I can create my own custom lash. I will have them listed down below. They are from House of Lashes. Now, Rare Beauty did launch several different lip products within their line, but the ones I really want to highlight in today's video are these ones right here. These are called the Lip Souffle Matte Lip Creams. They retail for $20. I will have swatches up on the screen, starting from the pink one. This one is called Motivate. Then we have Ascend, we have Inspire, Brave, Strengthen, and also Fearless. I think the shade names of the lip products are very, very motivating and just inspiring. I feel like her brand just brings on so many positive vibes, and I really like that. The shade I'm going to use for today's video is this one right here. This one is called Inspire. Now, Selena is known for her bold red lip. This is definitely like more of like an orangey red, so I'm gonna put this all over. Like, I'm super, super excited for this one. So this is just one coat of the lip cream going on. I do feel like it is a little sheer. The formula is very, very velvety and like kind of like whipped. It feels really, really different on my lips. I can't even really describe it, but I'm gonna do another layer. I do also want to share with you guys some other lip products that she came out with. I won't be using them within today's video, but she came out with the With Gratitude Dewy Lip Balm. So these are technically lip balms. There's one that's clear, there's one that's nude, and then two other ones that are a little bit deeper for fall. I think these are absolutely beautiful. I did put on the clear one before I started this video, and it feels very, very hydrating on the lips. These do retail for $16 if you guys are interested in picking them up. I feel like the clear one is my jam. I feel like the nude one is gonna be my jam as well. They kind of remind me of like the Fenty Slip Shines in a way. But another product that came within her line that I didn't mention is actually a kit. This here is the Blot and Glow Touch-Up Kit. It retails for $26. What I think is cool is it comes with refillable blotting sheets. So if that's something that you're into, if you're constantly on the go and you want to like blot the oil, you can actually get this. And then I want to say that this is a powder infused puff. I personally don't have use for it right now, but I'll definitely use it throughout the week and keep you guys updated in a future video if you guys are interested in this product right here. But for the most part, I really have no complaints, but I do want to wear this on my face for a period of time, then come back and share with you guys how it held up throughout the day. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. All right, you guys, so I'm back to give you guys an update and a wear test on how this makeup wore. The time right now, it is 9:54 at night, so it is pretty late. It's about that time where I really just want to melt down my makeup and take it all off. But of course, I have formed an opinion on the brand based on how it originally applied and how it wore throughout the day. One of the most obvious things that I want to point out is my lip color. It's not even half as vibrant as it was when I first applied it, simply because it is a whipped, very velvety formula. It's not meant to be a very, very long wearing formula, so it is not going to be transfer proof. If I go like this, you will definitely see that I have a little bit of that lip product on the back of my hand. Is that a deal breaker for me? No, I absolutely love products that feel good on the lips as opposed to dry my lips out and make them feel very tight and crusty. So another product I really want to point out is the concealer. I definitely feel like the concealer was a complete bust for me. I'm not sure if it was because I applied a little bit of the foundation into the concealer to get more of a better shade for me personally, but it creased up like crazy. I did set it down with powder. When I did set it down, I felt like the powder got a little crepey in certain areas, so I'm not entirely sure if the concealer is very powder friendly. I wanted to definitely point that out because I know that is a big selling point, concealer, setting it down with powder. I know some people can't skip powder at all. I know for me personally, it's just not a step I can skip in my routine because I do live in Florida. It's hot, it's humid, and your girl's face melts off very, very quickly. So I definitely wanted to point that out there. Let's actually talk about the brow product really quick. Do I think it's a bad product? No. I definitely feel like it is very, very creamy. A little bit goes a very long way. So you definitely don't need to apply that much pressure at all. Otherwise, you'll have very blocky brows. I do wish this had a spoolie, but I totally understand that it can't have a spoolie if it also has a brow gel on the other end. For me, it's kind of like one over the other, a tinted brow gel or a brow pencil. I don't personally need both, so I don't see myself reaching for this as often as I would like to. A product that I really, really enjoyed was the liquid liner. I feel like the brush tip was absolutely amazing. The brush tip is a little bit thicker than what I'm used to, so you definitely have to go in with a very light hand. Otherwise, it's easy to get very, very carried away and create a very, very thick liner, if you get me, but it's extremely black. I don't find that it transferred whatsoever. The only thing that really transferred underneath my eyes was my mascara. It's not waterproof, so it kind of transferred underneath my eyes, but that's about it. Let's talk about some complexion products. Now, the setting spray was really, really awesome. Do I feel like it's an awesome innovation? No, it's probably just a regular old setting spray. I don't feel like it really helped with the overall longevity of my makeup because as you can see, it's transferring, it's creasing, it's doing all sorts of things. So I feel like it is a nice refresher. It felt really, really awesome on the skin. But do I feel like I have something like it in my collection? Yes, absolutely. Some other products that I really, really loved was the foundation. As you guys saw, it is definitely a buildable foundation. Do I think it's full on coverage? No, I definitely feel like this line was really created to be more of a natural, barely there makeup. I feel like Selena is very known for very fresh skin, nothing too crazy, nothing too cakey or anything like that. And her brand definitely represents what she stands for. So I really love that. Do I love the luminizing primer? I do. I feel like it has a very, very nice pearlescent finish to it. It doesn't look like chunky glitter or anything like that on the skin. So I definitely like it. Do I feel like the price point is a little bit up there? Yes, absolutely. I feel like you can find a cheaper alternative within the drugstore, but it still is very, very beautiful. Some products that I swear by that I would recommend today, like literally go out and buy them, is the matte cream blushes. This one right here in the shade Joy, absolutely stunning. I feel like this is probably one of my favorite products from the entire collection. It was very pigmented. I also love that it's matte, so it wasn't super shiny on the skin. And because it is a cream product, I thought it was gonna be a lot harder to work with, but it's not at all. It applied like a dream, and it still is very much pigmented on my cheeks. Let's talk about the liquid highlighters. Do I feel like they're highlighters that are super beaming? No, I feel like these are very, very natural luminizers, and that's honestly what I really love about them. I feel like I've passed the stage of wanting to look like a glazed donut all the time, so these are really, really beautiful. I have the shade Outshine and also Mesmerize. These two together look incredible. I still have a subtle shine to the highest point of my cheekbone, and I am all about that. Let's actually touch up with the very, very last product, which was the blotting kit right here. I didn't use it within the video because I really didn't have much use for it since my makeup was freshly applied. But to my knowledge, this does have a little bit of powder in it, and it's meant to powder down your skin and still give you a very, very natural shine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to press it. I'm not seeing it, baby. I am not seeing it. I do quickly want to touch on the brushes really quickly. Again, spend your money, don't spend the money. Do whatever it is that you want. But I really love the foundation and also the concealer brush. Are they a little pricey? Yes, but the shape of these are unlike anything I've ever seen before. They blended out product like a dream. It didn't streak, it didn't crease or anything like that. Plus, I really love the shape of this concealer brush. It fits very, very nicely underneath my eyes. Like literally imagine letting your concealer set for maybe about 45 seconds and then blending it out. A dream, and I'm all into that. A product that I wasn't really into would definitely have to be the sponge. It is very, very porous, so I definitely feel like it would soak up product very, very quickly, but I'll continue to use it in future videos and give you guys my updated thoughts on this. But that is pretty much it for today's review video. I hope you guys really enjoyed how thorough it was and how I went through each and every single product. I wore it throughout the day and gave you guys my updated thoughts. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me down below in the comments. And if you guys want me to revisit any products, let me know as well. Give this video a big old like, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those notifications. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.